morning. Welcome to Tuesday morning stretch, strength, and sweat. The equipment you need is all on the side today. You really only need a mat and a chair. Same format as usual. We'll start with our warm-up, just with our arm swings. I start with my palms out, and then across the body. I turn my palms down, and I alternate which arm is on top. I'll just go into our side lunges. Less lunges, I should say, and more steps. I'm not going to do too much of a warm-up today because the warm-up is kind of built in to the workout. We're just going to do a little bit. Fingers interlocked behind the head, elbows come back, and then we're going to step forward and then twist both sides, step back, step forward, twist both sides. Take this one slow, especially if you're just getting up for the day. We can ease into these warm-up activities. And we'll just do our hip hinge with overhead reach. So I hinge down, draw down my legs, pull back on my left fingers, arms overhead, hips to the right, hips to the left. And one more time. This time I'm going to pull back on my right fingers when I come up. Back on those right fingers, arms overhead, hips to the right. Just like so. All right, and we're going to get right into it. So within our first group, we have our groin stretch. Should be on the ground. That's our butterfly stretch. We've done that before. Golfers deadlifts, I'll show you. The stretches, we'll just sort of get into it. Golfers deadlifts, if you need a chair or something, you can go ahead and do that. But essentially, it's like you're picking a golf ball off the ground, single leg, bent down like that. On the side, looks like this. You can see me, we'll go this way. You need that chair again, just like I'm picking up that golf ball. So if my right leg is planted, or my left leg is planted, my right arm is actually going to be the one that comes down, all right? And then our high knees, again, we're just up high knees. If you need that modification, we're just stepping, right? Okay, so the groin stretch, we'll start on the ground, feet together. And we're trying to bring the heels as close to the body as we can in 3, 2, and 1. You can lean forward a little bit if you want. This is a stretch that I've just never ever been able to get my heels close to my body on. But I still feel that stretch in my groin. We're going to go into those golfers deadlifts. 10 seconds. Nice weather. I'm actually starting to see pictures of people starting to golf. All right, into our golfers deadlifts. We'll just switch on the halfway mark. Try to keep your balance. We'll switch sides now. These ones are looking a little off balance for me today. I reduced my range of motion a little bit on this side. All right, and then our high knees in 10 seconds. Yeah, with the high knee, we want to make sure we're going opposite arm, opposite leg. All right. Nice soft landing too, right? I'm trying to transfer my energy from the ball of my foot to the heel of my foot when I land. Driving my knee as high as I can, high as I feel comfortable with. Keep my chest up, arms moving. 2, and 1 on the ground. If you need some water, grab some water. that groin stretch. Oh. One that we don't do too often in workouts, but that doesn't mean that it's not important. You know, this stretch can counteract a lot of those muscles that sort of get tight and sitting. All right, golfers deadlifts. Again, if you need that chair, you can pull out that chair and use it to practice. When I use the chair, I don't firmly hold on to the chair, keep my back bent. We really want to just try to use that chair for the support to correct balance, switch sides, right? And then just make sure that we're going opposite arm, opposite leg. Perfect. All right, high knees on the 20 mark. And if we need to modify what we're doing is we're stepping, right? And we're still stepping with purpose. I'm still using my arms, get my shoulders into it as I get my knees up as high as I can. Even though I'm not doing the same sort of run, I can pick up the speed, right? I don't need to run to have that speed and have that purpose. All right, then we're gonna move to the ground. I usually grab my ankles on this one as I try to pull them out a little bit more. And just that slight lean forward. For all of this, I'll just talk about that HRA for a little bit. If you have 5 minutes, it's an easy way to earn 500 thanks to ton point. But also to see where you've sort of been at in the last year. Check on your health. Are there things that you need to work on a little bit? And it gives you that customized report, right? That makes it a little less overwhelming. You can pick a few things. You don't have to work on the whole report, but it gives you some objectifiable goals. All right, golfers deadlifts. So we're picking up that golf ball, without using our putter to scoop it up. Try to keep our balance. Try to keep all our lines nice and straight. Switching sides. One more. Perfect. Last set of high knees, because I haven't been doing that. There you go. It's not a day workout if I'm not missing those rounds. Do all that work to put it in and forget to use it. Keep moving. Doing great. Remember, we're going at your pace, your level, 10 more seconds. Perfect. All right, group 2. Now our T-spine rotations. I'll show you guys that one before we go into it because it's a little bit more involved. So on the ground, we're going to lie in this T. I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to cross over my right. And I'm just going to look over to my left hand, right? Shoulder taps, we've done before, right? High plank position, alternate which side we're touching. Feet wide enough apart so your hips don't wobble. And then hop around the box. Imagine we have an imaginary box here. We're going to set ourselves, right? Set that position. Hop, right? All right, so we'll start with those T-spine rotations. We'll get going on those. 15-second side in 3, 2, and 1. The sides went a little bit overboard there. We're gonna hold this side a little bit longer. Doesn't give us lots of rest, but we can transition on the ground. So we'll do that into our plank shoulder taps. My plank position, feet wide enough so that as I tap my shoulders, the hips don't wobble, right? If you need to modify, we're just on our knees. Same thing, right? You can always hop through the modifications just like that. You don't need to be strictly modified if you want to try to push yourself just a little bit. Maybe you try 1 rep, maybe you try 2. Alright, hop around the box. Remember, we set our feet, we imagine our imaginary box. Right? Always stay square to the front of the room. And we could certainly do this a lot faster. What I want to emphasize is that we're taking your time to set our landing, right? And then, once you have that, we can speed this up a little bit more. But every time, I take the time to set my landing, right? And I make sure that landing is perfect, that I'm square. T-spine rotations, left leg crossed over. We were jumping clockwise that time, so I'll make sure to jump counterclockwise next time. Switch. This time. Alright, we'll go into those like planks for our plank shoulder taps. Just so you guys can see from the front what that looks like. See, my feet are quite wide, right? If I narrow them, it makes it a little bit more challenging. But I really don't want those hips to wobble, so maybe I need to just adjust the course a little bit. Really keeping that nice straight line from head to toe in that plank, right? Alright, we're going to hop around the box. This time we're going counterclockwise. If you're not comfortable with hopping, you can always just get into a step, maybe do a quarter squat, step forward, maybe a little quarter squat, step. I'm taking those big exaggerated steps around the box. I'm still using those hip abductors to move laterally, those hip adductors to assist in that lateral movement. But all I'm doing is I'm taking that impact, and I can still step quick, right? Alright. Then we're on to round 3. Get on the ground for T-spine rotation. Left leg is crossed over. I'm looking at that left hand. If you need a modification for this one, you can simply sit on your chair and twist the torso. You can stand and twist. Switch sides. Or whatever you need to do to get that twist throughout the T-spine. Perfect. My plank position, or again, I'll show you the modification. We need to modify. I get my feet off the ground, I'm on my knees. And I just stay strong. And if you need to make this a little bit more difficult, what you can do from that kneeling position or from the full position is you can widen your hands, right? Because this is like a tripod. So if we were to, we're going to hop around the box. I'll explain that another day just because it's a mouthful. All right. Halfway through, we'll switch directions. We're setting ourselves up. And we're jumping through, right? Anytime you need to just like set yourself up, you see me do it. I take that second. Just to make sure everything's square. And if you need, we're switching sides, or switching directions. If you need to, right, I can still move through this and take the impact out with the jump. All right, and that's round 3, group 2. Ooh. Take that second to grab some water. We have our downward dog, bear crawl, and then our punch combo. All right, move this in the way. And in the interest of time, we're just going to get right into everything because most of it's not too bad to just jump into. The downward dog, we're going to be up just like this, hips hiked up, almost creating a V with the body. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. So hands are on your shoulders, knees are on your hips, and then I just hike my hips up in the air. I try to get my head between the elbows in my hands. And then if I want that extra calf stretch, what I can do is I can push my heels on the ground, or I can alternate pumping them. I'm just going to push my heels on the ground for today. Excellent. Now we're into our bear crawl. We've done before. Tabletop position. Hands on the shoulders, knees under hips. I'm going to elevate my knees off the ground. And then I'm just walking forward. And back. Just sort of whenever your space allows you to walk forward and back. And our jab, cross, hook, uppercut is jab, cross, hook, uppercut. All right? We take that a little slow. All right, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. And, you know, we're not fighters here. We're just using it as a cardio move. If it gets a little sloppy like that, oh man, look at that. That's ugly. We're switching sides. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. We can try that out. We're just moving, right? All right, downward dog. If you have difficulty with the downward dog, what we can just do is you can go ahead and do the child's pose today. Right? That's a little bit easier for some people. If you can, join me in that downward dog position. Really try to get those hips in the air. My downward dog never looks great, but I always do my best on it. Two and 1. Go into our bear crawls in 10 seconds. If you need a modification for the bear crawl, what I'm just going to suggest for today is that we do a dead bug instead. So arms are up in the air, legs are bent at 90-90. Then I extend, opposite arm, opposite leg out. And I try not to touch the ground. So this is the modification if you have difficulty doing the bear crawl and you thought that first round that was extremely tough. This is something else you can do, right? Uses the same muscle groups It's even a little bit of the same movement. All right, and we're done there. We go into our awkward jab, cross, hook, uppercut, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. And you know, you could just, if you just want the speed, you can wave your arms around like that wacky waving inflatable tube man that you see on those car parking lots. As long as you keep moving, right? Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. And we're done. All right. Final round of group 3. We're going into that downward dog. And if you want to get more of that, sort of like a different group of muscles, you can always just do, you know, that standing fold. And essentially all we're taking out is we're taking out this part of the downward dog, right? So sort of meet yourself where you're at. You don't need to be doing what everyone else is doing to work those same muscle groups. Make your workout your own, as I always say. All right, bear crawl is next for dead bug. I'll just show you guys what it looks when I'm on that different angle there. So knees are off the ground, tabletop position. And I'm just crawling forward. Just tabletop position. The closer your knees are to the ground, the more this will burn the quads too. I find it's a great core exercise, but also a great quad exercise. And it's really difficult to move same side arm, same side leg. So stepping forward your left leg, left arm at the same time. But if you can do it, I suggest you try it. All right. Well, we're going to switch sides here. So it's going to become real awkward for me. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. And that's where it gets a little difficult to, you know, throw your hips into things when things are a little awkward. So we're just doing our best to do a combination. It helps when you don't think about it, but I don't find these such natural movements for myself that if I stop thinking about it, oh, we're on round 4 there. Round 3, actually. That's what the clock says. All right. We are on group 4, though. It's our final group. We have our hip flexor stretch. You'll need your chair or your bench again, or something like an ottoman that you can put your foot on. Hip flexor stretch. We're going to do one side for 30 seconds for round 1 and 2, and then round 3 we'll split it up. So right knee on the ground, right arm up, push the hips forward, right? Keep that nice tall spine, feel stretch in the hips. Bulgarian split squat hops. We're going to go into that Bulgarian split squat position, so one chair is on the leg. And then we're just sinking a little bit. And you can always just, you don't need to do the hop, right? Hopping up. We'll switch on the halfway mark on that one. And then our lateral stairs. Again, we're using our bench. We're stepping up and down. Try not to decapitate yourself on the ceiling fan. All right. That would have been probably our most watched YouTube video if that happened, but not today. All right, so we're starting our hip flexor stretch in 3, 2, and 1. Our left leg is forward, a little bit greater than 90-degree bend in the knee as I push my hips forward. Keep one arm up. Yeah, we're going to hold this side for the full 30. Keeping those hips push forward, feeling that stretch right in the front. Some people feel it in the quad as well. All right, and we'll go into our Bulgarian split squat hops. One leg on the chair. I like this exercise because it's really hard fudge the landing on it. You know, you sort of have to land perfectly every time because you can't jump that high. We'll switch sides. Almost there. Keep that chest up. All right, lateral stairs are next. Or halfway through, we'll switch on this one as well. Step up. I don't have both legs step up. I'm just kicking off, standing up. Ideally, I'd have something a little bit lower than this chair, but we sort of make do with what we got. All right, then halfway through, we'll switch sides. Keep that chest up. And I'll show you modifications for those on round 2, which we are on. Hip flexor stretch. If you're not comfortable with kneeling, what we can do is we can just take that exaggerated step forward and sort of go into that warrior 1 pose, warrior 2, whatever you want. But same principle, right? From this split squat position, I'm pushing my hips forward. I keep my chest up. I bring my arms in line with my ears. Yeah, if you don't need the modification, you can just go back to the original. I just want to make sure everyone is sort of included. Make sure that we have switched. Not that you're switching sides this round, but that you did switch sides. And just sort of showing. All right, and then for our Bulgarian split squat hops, instead, what we can do is that split squat position, right? So same sort of position, and we can do our split squats, right? You can take the impact out, or you can, you know, have that little bit of impact in there with a split squat jump. Halfway through, we'll switch. But I suggest that, you know, if you're sort of really just starting out in that split squat, or even if you're not so comfortable with that balance there, just sort of go into that a little bit of an offset squat. So it's not quite, you know, my feet aren't so quite far apart. But we're into our lateral stairs. Modification for this one, what we're going to do is that side step, right? And we can alternate just doing that right away. And if you don't need that modification, if you're right into those lateral stairs, excellent for you. Keep it up. We are halfway through, so if you are doing those stairs, you want to switch now. You know, you can deepen that lunge. You can keep it at that step, but we're just moving through it the whole time, right? All right, and just like that, we are on round 3. So our hip flexor stretch. So remember, this time around, we're switching side at the halfway mark. So right knee is down, right arm is up. Nice, tall, open chest. We're switching sides. Probably didn't give you guys the best angle on that one there. All right, and then we'll go into our Bulgarian split squat hops. On the chair, hop forward so you find that spot. When you come down, it shouldn't be that far down. You know, the back leg will drop a little bit further, but this leg is mostly extended. Switch sides. And remember, we don't need to be hopping the whole time, right? If you need to take a few, you know, maybe it's 1, 2, and on the third one you jump, right? All right, and then lateral stairs. Final exercise. Nice thing to say, nice thing to hear, right? Step up. And if you're not comfortable going laterally, but you still want to sort of get that stairs motion, you can always just go into that forward and back one. But we're just trying to target halfway there, switching, or, you know, targeting those lateral muscles that we use, right? I definitely didn't go off switch on the halfway mark, but that's okay. Hopefully nobody's walking in circles. But we are done. Excellent work. Stop that timer. That's there. Let's actually go right there. How's that? All right, and we'll just go into our overhead tricep stretch. Just open up the chest, walk around, breathe a little bit. We're actually going to use our chair today. Switch sides. Yeah, I'm just walking around the room doing my tricep stretch. So we're going to do our seated pigeon. A little bit over time. Okay, that's okay. We'll still finish up strong. So I've crossed my left leg over my right, and then I just slightly lean forward, feeling the stretch in the side of my hip. So my left leg's crossed. I'm feeling it in my left hip. And we'll switch over to the right side. We have a 5K activity happening this weekend. You know, you can walk, you can run, call a friend, walk with your family, run with your family, run with your friends, take the dog out. It takes like 45 minutes to an hour to walk 5K. You know, at a normal pace. If you're a little bit slower, it might take a little bit longer. But it's just something worth doing. It's going to be nice on Saturday, just to mix some things up. And we'll go into our our handcuff stretch. So you can sign up for that on the Facebook group. Again, it's just something to sort of mix it up a little bit, get some participation. You'll see everybody on the Strava group that's participating, sort of how long it took them to do it. Nobody's really competing with each other. You know, some people, maybe the more competitive people will. But it's more about, you know, just having fun, getting outside, getting active. You can do it on your treadmill too. You know, you don't have to do it outside. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's workout. As always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can always put them in the comments, contact me directly, whatever it is you're most comfortable with. But if not, I will see you guys on Thursday. Marnouche's back on the schedule for Wednesday afternoons. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.